Welcome back to the deep dive. So you guys have sent in articles and even some Reddit threads.
Oh, wow, Reddit.
Yeah, and even some international coverage all about Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
It seems like everyone is
Yeah.
just completely fascinated by this whole relationship.
I am too.
Yeah.
It feels like everyone is trying to figure out what's really going on
Right.
between these two.
Between these two titans, yeah.
So that's our mission today, is to unpack all the dynamics of this power struggle between Musk and Trump
Right.
and try to figure out what it all means for you.
Sounds good. It's definitely a relationship that's just generating a lot of buzz, and for good reason.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got articles referring to Musk as President Musk,
Right.
implying that he's the one who's really pulling the strings in the Trump administration.
Right. And it's not even some fringe theory.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the chatter, especially from Democrats, seems to stem from Musk's very public role in derailing that government spending bill.
Yeah.
That it really showcases his influence.
That's a great example of how Musk, even without an official government position,
Right.
can just wield this significant power.
Right.
But it's interesting
Yeah.
how Trump himself responds to this whole President Musk thing.
Okay.
There's a quote from him
Okay.
in the NBC News article that you sent
Yeah.
that really jumped out at me.
Okay.
He says, "No, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why he can't be? He wasn't born in this country."
Okay. There is a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah?
the "I'm safe" comment.
Right.
It's almost like he feels threatened
Oh, absolutely.
by the idea of Musk having that much power.
He has a very curious choice of words.
Oh, sure.
And the irony, of course, is that Trump built his political career on questioning Obama's birthplace.
Uh-huh.
And now he's using the same tactic to dismiss the possibility of a President Musk.
It definitely adds another layer to
Totally
this
add.
already complicated relationship.
Sure.
But let's dig a little deeper into how W. Musk is wielding this influence.
Okay.
We know he's wealthy,
Uh-huh.
he owns X,
Right.
and he's close with Trump.
Right.
But how's that translating into actual power?
Well, you included this article that details how Musk spent $250 million
Wow.
supporting Trump's campaign.
Right.
That's not just a donation.
Right.
That's a strategic investment.
Right.
What do you think he was hoping to gain from that level of financial support?
I mean, at the very least, it buys him access
Right.
and a direct line to the president.
Absolutely.
But I'm guessing he's also looking for favorable policy decisions
Uh-huh.
that benefit his businesses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's his appointment to lead that new office
Right.
that's focused on reducing government costs.
Yeah.
So that position gives him a direct hand in shaping policy and potentially cutting regulations that might hinder his companies.
So he's using his wealth to gain political influence and then
Yeah.
using that influence to potentially benefit his business.
It's a pretty effective,
Yeah.
if somewhat controversial playbook.
Yeah, for sure.
And let's not forget his ownership of X.
Right.
He can use that platform
Yeah.
to shape public opinion,
Right.
promote his agenda,
Right.
and even attack his opponents.
Wow.
That kind of media power is just invaluable
Yeah.
in today's political landscape.
It's almost like he's created his own political ecosystem where he can control the narrative
Right.
and mobilize his supporters.
Exactly.
But speaking of controlling the narrative, you
Yeah.
also included an article mentioning that Musk might be willing to bankroll primary challenges against GOP lawmakers who defy Trump.
That's right. And that's a powerful tool
Yeah,
for ensuring loyalty within the party.
totally.
Imagine you're a Republican lawmaker
Right.
and you rely on campaign donations.
Yeah.
Would you risk crossing Trump
Right.
knowing that Musk might fund your opponent in the next primary?
Probably not.
Right.
So while Trump may officially hold the title of president, it seems like Musk has found ways to exert his influence behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But is it all smooth sailing between them?
That's a great question.
They both have pretty strong personalities.
Yes. Very much so.
Could that lead to some friction
Yeah.
down the line?
That's a great question and one that we'll explore a little bit later.
Okay.
But for now, let's shift our focus to how Trump is reacting to all of this.
Okay.
Because while he may have publicly dismissed this whole President Musk idea,
Right.
his actions kind of suggest a more nuanced response.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. You're right to point that out, that Trump's actions might say something a little different.
Yeah.
For example, you sent in that clip
Yeah.
of Donald Trump Jr.'s speech at the Turning Point USA conference.
Uh-huh.
he actually addresses attempts by the media to, like, drive a wedge
Yeah.
between his father and Musk.
Wow.
Almost as if they're aware of this whole perception and they're trying to, like, manage it.
It's like they're trying to project this image of, like, unity,
Right.
even if there are some cracks underneath the surface.
Exactly.
But if we look beyond, like, just the optics, are there any concrete examples
Yeah.
of Trump reacting to Musk's influence?
Yeah, you included that article highlighting Senator Mark Wayne Mullen's strong defense
Right.
of Musk's involvement in politics,
Okay.
arguing that Musk is just like a private citizen
Mm-hmm.
exercising his rights.
Right.
And some see this as like a clear signal of support from the Trump camp,
Right.
especially since Mullen is a close ally of the president.
So it's possible that Trump is actually welcoming Musk's influence.
Yeah.
Maybe even seeing it as an asset.
Possibly.
After all, Musk's like unconventional thinking and business acumen could bring a fresh perspective to the political arena.
That's one interpretation for sure.
Yeah.
It could be that Trump sees Musk as a really valuable ally, someone who can help him achieve his goals.
Right.
Especially since they seem to align on certain issues,
Right.
like deregulation and economic growth.
Right. But couldn't this also backfire?
Oh, for sure.
What if Musk starts pushing for policies
Right.
that clash with Trump's agenda?
Yeah.
Or what if their strong personalities just lead to like a power struggle?
Right.
It's not like either of them are known for backing down.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And we've already touched on Musk's interest in, like, AI
Yeah.
and space exploration.
Uh-huh.
These are areas where he has very specific and often controversial ideas.
Right. And they don't exactly scream
Right.
Trump's America, do they?
Not really, no.
I mean, Trump's focus seems to be on more immediate terrestrial concerns,
Yeah.
like immigration and trade deals.
Right.
How does space exploration fit into that picture?
Exactly. Imagine Musk pushing for a massive increase in, like, NASA funding,
Right.
while Trump is trying to build a wall
Right.
on the Mexican border.
Yeah.
Those are two very different priorities.
Oh, sure.
And it's not hard to see how that could lead to some tension.
And let's not forget the international implications.
Oh, yeah.
You included this article in Arabic
Uh-huh.
that discusses the global reaction to Trump's comments about the Panama Canal.
Right.
It mentions how Panama's president issued this strong rebuke,
Wow.
and other world leaders expressed concern.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even seemingly offhand remarks
Right.
can have far-reaching consequences
Totally.
when you're dealing with someone like Trump.
And when you add Musk to the mix,
Oh, yes.
with his global business interests
Mhm.
and his outspoken nature,
Yeah,
the potential for international incidents just increases exponentially.
absolutely.
It's like adding fuel to the fire.
Right.
Musk's companies operate worldwide,
Mhm.
and he's not shy about expressing his opinions on global affairs.
Yeah,
What happens if his views just clash with Trump's America First agenda?
that's a great question. Let's just say, hypothetically, Musk advocates for closer ties with China,
Okay.
while Trump is imposing tariffs on Chinese goods.
Yeah.
That kind of dissonance could create a diplomatic headache,
A headache, at least.
to say the least.
It's fascinating and a little bit scary
Yeah,
to think about the potential fallout
right.
if these two powerful forces just start pulling in different directions.
Definitely raises the stakes.
Yeah.
But let's just step back for a moment
Okay.
and consider why all of this matters to, like, you, our listener.
Right.
Why should you care about this seemingly distant power struggle
Yeah.
between these two larger-than-life figures?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
After all, it's easy to dismiss this as just like another political drama that's
Right.
playing out on the national stage.
But the reality is that the decisions made by people in power,
Uh-huh.
especially those with as much influence as like Trump and Musk,
Right.
have a direct impact on our lives.
Absolutely. Whether it's the economy,
Uh-huh.
the environment, or even our personal freedoms.
Right.
The policies enacted and the regulations imposed can just ripple through society
Absolutely.
and touch every aspect of our daily existence.
For sure.
Yeah.
And in this particular case, with two such unpredictable and influential figures at the helm,
Right.
the potential consequences are magnified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking about potential economic shifts, environmental policies, even the future of technology.
Right.
All things that could be heavily influenced by this Trump-Musk thing.
Yeah.
But it all feels so big,
Uh-huh.
like out of our control.
Right.
What can we, like, as everyday citizens actually do about this?
It's easy to feel kind of powerless when you're looking at these massive forces at play.
Yeah.
But I think the key is to remember that in a democracy, the power ultimately resides with the people.
Right.
Like, our voices matter,
Right.
and we have ways to make them heard.
Okay, so what does that look like in practice?
Yeah.
Like, how do we move beyond feeling overwhelmed and actually start participating in like a meaningful way?
Well, for one, we need to stay informed.
Okay.
You, our listener, are already doing that
Hmm.
by, digging into these sources and engaging in this deep dive.
Right.
But it's also crucial to be critical
Okay.
of the information that we consume.
Right.
Like, who's presenting it? What are their biases?
Okay.
Are they presenting a balanced perspective, or are they pushing an agenda?
It's like we need to develop a Musk-Trump decoder ring
Yeah,
to help us like decipher the true meaning
exactly.
behind their words and their actions.
Because remember, there's always a strategy in
Right.
play.
Right.
And in this case, with two such savvy and ambitious players,
Hmm.
it's crucial to be aware of like the bigger picture, the long game.
Right.
You can't just react to headlines.
Right.
You have to try to understand the underlying motivations and the potential long-term consequences.
So stay informed, be critical, look for those deeper patterns.
Yeah.
What else can we do to make our voices heard and actually like influence the direction of things?
But voting is obviously crucial.
Okay.
We need to elect leaders who represent our values.
Right.
And who will hold those in power accountable.
Right.
But it goes beyond just casting a ballot every few years.
All right.
You need to engage in like constructive dialogue.
Yeah.
Participate in local politics.
Right.
And just make our concerns known
Right.
to our elected officials.
And sometimes that means pushing back against policies
Absolutely.
or decisions that we disagree with,
Yeah.
even if it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient.
You can't be a passive observer
Right.
in this unfolding drama.
Right.
You have to be an active participant,
Yeah.
demanding transparency,
Yeah. Right.
challenging assumptions, and advocating for the future that you believe in.
So this deep dive has been like a real eye-opener.
It has been really fascinating.
Yeah, we've explored all these complexities of the Trump-Musk relationship, uncovered some potential points of friction, and even delved into the global implications of their actions.
And most importantly, we've highlighted why all of this matters to you, our listener.
Right.
This isn't just some political sideshow.
Right.
This is a story that has the potential to shape our world in some really profound ways.
Absolutely. And on that note, we leave you with a final thought.
Okay.
What are your predictions for how this will all unfold?
Yeah.
What role will you play in shaping the future?
Yeah, great questions.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep diving deep, stay curious, and most importantly, stay engaged.
Absolutely.